All right. So the other question that I had was, did you guys want to go back with the garrison, or you guys just want to go on your own?
Down with whatever everyone do.
All right.
Yep, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So the keep guard says, "Yep, we're gonna go ahead and pack up. We're gonna march on back. They seem to have everything under control here." Erdis kind of bonds you guys, or kind of waves his hand and indicates that you know, he says, you know, hopefully we'll meet again soon in the future. And sorry, I'm leaving you guys. So you guys kind of get onto the you guys get onto the trail and sort of take the road. You guys collected your horses and out of the keep there that they had graciously taken care of for you, and start down the road. You guys continue down the road without any issues, and kind of get back into town itself right around dark time, I would say. Or what you guys like to do, or what you guys want to do.
Cricket City, I guess.
I see that, Nate. Are you able to type on there at all?
How do you whisper?
You just type it in, and how do you do the GM again? Do you drag it to me?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
I forget how to do it. Bose.
Yeah, if you just type it but don't hit enter and then drag it. Oh, for the GM, you still have to put
Oh, okay, cool.
/GM. I don't. Oh no, maybe it's just /whisper space GM.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's /W space GM space and then your message. There you go. Yep, Cormer, that works. Cool. There you go. Yep, that works too. All right. So the guards kind of say to you, "Thanks for, you know, allowing me to you know, kind of walk back with you guys and have our troops come with you. You know, the town's heard a lot about you guys. You've almost become like a celebrity here, to be honest."
Well, you know. This whole fame thing really just gets out of proportion.
Yeah, yeah. The fame and notoriety, kind of both of them, kind of get out of proportion at times.
Especially when a bard gets a hold of it.
Can you get that?
Yeah, I bet. Well, just so you guys know that a couple of the mine leaders are missing.
Guys that
Missing?
own the mines or foreman or something.
Actually, the mine owners. So, Schmenk, he is actually caught in the prison over there. They arrested him, and then Ragnalin has disappeared. Kind of jumped town or something.
Is there still a bounty out for us?
The garrison guard says, I've heard there's bounty out for you, but I don't know if it's still there or not. I don't really mix with those kind very often.
Yeah, we don't tend to mix with them either, so. We don't know, but thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't know what's going on with all the minor folks.
Well, the town is kind of in disarray, to be honest with you, but it seems like it's getting better.
Well, I guess once I figure out who's going to continue mining, there's obviously a decent amount of money may be made. Maybe they'll treat the workers a little better or something. That's all I care about.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully in the future they will, so we'll see. The other mine leaders have kind of filled in for them, so kind of pulling them in with the, you know, taking over their mines, so. And he kind of looks over to you, Bose, and he says, matter of fact, Cunningham, the only other elf in town, took over Ragnarland's mine, so she's pretty happy.
That's interesting.
So that elf is missing, or she just took over the?
No, she actually took over the mine.
Okay.
So she's actually happy they're gone.
Where's she staying? Where's she running her operation out of?
Yeah, so she's staying over at her house.
I'll word behind you, Dan.
You probably could go over there, but it's pretty late. I don't know. She may not. She may take offense to that.
What? I'm offended if she's offended.
Oh, not Cunningham. Sorry, Moonmeadow. Moonmeadow. That makes more sense. I'm like, Cunningham seems weird.
Oh, we can spend the night at the inn and morning.
Okay. Or you guys could also go to your home, the old observatory.
Yeah.
That's cheaper.
You guys want to head over there?
Sure.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys kind of head over to the old observatory, and as you're walking up, you guys notice there's lights on inside. Some candlelight or something like that up on the second floor.
I forget. Didn't we send somebody to the house to like stay there or something? Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Remember. I'll head up there and check it out.
Sounds good. So you guys are kind of walking up the road and you know, see that the place seems to be fairly intact. Don't really see anything that appears necessarily different. Just the candlelight that's up in the second floor. Marzana kind of looks at you guys and says, "Nice house, guys. How in the world do you afford this on an adventurer's salary?"
We actually killed the guy that owned it.
She kind of smiles and she says, "Ah, okay. Well, I like that. That's the cheapest way to get something." All right, so what you guys want to do as you get up to the door?
hope somebody that moved in there brought their loot with them. Well, I'm gonna go up and open the door and walk right in and
All right.
see who our new neighbors are.
Sounds good. So you guys, you open up the door, and if you remember correctly, you guys had to walk up those little steps that were there, and there was a nice door with a little moon on it. So you open it up, you look inside, and yeah, it looks a little more dustier than you remember when you left, and there's still the broken tables and stuff on the entrance, but all in all, it looks relatively all together. So you walk through and go into the kitchen and you're into the dining room area, which obviously is devoid of all those talking corpses. I think you guys got rid of all of them. And you hear some kind of rustling of papers upstairs, and just I can see some of the candlelight kind of coming down, and really doesn't really appear, you know, like anybody's really alarmed that you're even inside, if they even know you're there.
Alright. Well, I will, if everyone's coming along with, we'll just meander our way on up there.
Okay, alrighty.
And see who our guest is. Or
Alright, so you guys kind of walk up the stairs, and you notice the main bed that was there. There was one bed, because you guys didn't get new beds, I don't think. Oh, there was beds downstairs. You see the bed is kind of a little bit unkept at that time, and you see kind of a rather tall half-orc sitting in your chair. You guys roll for initiatives.
why, certainly.
Damn half works.
Thank you.
Did he bring his treasure? Is there a box of loot around him? That's what I care about. Otherwise, he needs to get the hell out.
Yeah, nope. No real big box of loot that you see. However, you notice that the beautiful fur that you guys had is sort of rolled up and crumpled into the corner. The creature fur, I can't remember the name of it, that was on the floor of the rug. It was like some rare monster. I can't remember what it was. It's kind of rolled up into the corner.
That's nice. We won't get blood on it. That was very nice of him. A bad guy with ethics.
A bad guy with ethics, yeah, exactly. The half-orc kind of turns his head towards you and sort of stands up and kind of looks your way.
Do we have a map on this one, Greg?
Oh, yeah, let me pull it up real quick. Sorry, go ahead, Nate.
Wait, my thing is acting up again.
Oh, your mic is acting up?
Hello.
There you go. It's working now.
Yeah, we
Hey
can
guys.
hear.
Yeah, my push to talk is acting up.
It's not
Yeah,
working for
let me
you.
know. Let me know if the background noise is bad again.
Okay, no problem.
Pretty good right now.
Okay.
So you guys are on the one to the right, if you remember correctly. On the map there. Rosanna's like, nice place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks
Well,
like
met,
someone
gentlemen.
showed up and had a date. Wanted to ask you out or something. You know?
Go ahead, Razik. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Why
Well,
is
Matt-
Marzana frightened?
I take it you people are the owners of this place. Alliston told me that I could stay here while waiting for you.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to thank Allison later.
Why are you waiting for us?
I was told that you also discovered some things about worm menace.
Yeah. You heard right. And you have a problem with what we're doing with them?
And I think no, I've received portents about such menace, and I think that our missions are in alignment.
Oh, where's the paladin when you need one? All right, I'm gonna sense motive on this far too
Sure.
crafty
Yeah,
bugger. Oh, I should have done a deal, but
that's all right. No problem. He seems like he's telling the complete truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help him God.
well, welcome to the group. Glad to have you.
Are you?
You obviously can't tell me a lie, so I believe you.
Are you handy in a fight?
I would like to think so.
Can you drink good? You got iron guts. Because we don't put up with anyone that can't outdrink a dwarf.
That's it. Throw down
I
right now.
suppose I can. It's not too much. It's not much of my preference, but sure.
Great. Let him in the group. No competition.
All right, but you get the small room.
Marzana's like, I claim the bed.
Oh yeah, we're missing something.
So you guys see this sort of lizard-like creature walking on 2 feet, coming out of the door from the south, or the around from the bed, walking towards Razik. It's got some large teeth and tiny little arms.
Razik.
Letting Guana in here.
It's
There goes our,
a iguana?
A little bigger than an iguana.
our bug problem.
Does that thing indoor train?
He's pretty smart.
All right. Well, show him where the latrine is, and let's find out if he knows what to do with it. We don't have a little doggy door.
Yeah, my lizard doesn't care where he is when he goes.
Well, I guess we'll try and get Razik up to speed on what we've gathered and information and knowledge.
Okay.
Slowly and carefully to see if he shows any indications of being from the dark side of the Schwartz.
No problem. So you guys slowly kind of telling him stories and filling him in kind of on the age, kind of about the worms and everything you guys have sort of encountered. And you guys get to the stories about lizard folk, and he seems to perk up a little bit.
Is that because he's got a lizard friend?
It could be. And
Well, we intend to try and bring some peaceful stuff between the folks around here and the lizard folk. If we can get things calmed down, when a heck of a mess to have to clean up in that place. And I don't think we need any more feuding. I think there's enough crap going to be happening soon enough.
All right, so you guys kind of catch up in stories and whatnot, and he tells you guys too that you guys, he's noticed that the worms have been kind of infecting dragons in the region he was at, and was kind of traveling along and stumbled into Daggerford, and actually bumped into Lustin over at one of the
I'm just going to
favorite
finish. I have two
eating
more
places.
things of favor to turn in.
And as much as I would say that bed's big enough for that, that's a little creepy. A little creepy.
That was too much fun.
A little creepy. Oh boy. So if I ever need to get your guys' weakness, I now know what I have to do. Be very easy.
Remember that night you were having with it? Yeah. We're the only three characters. And I get to bed, she goes over to bed. The guys go over to the bed. And they're just like, okay.
Too funny.
Oh, shit.
I'll offer the little lizard guy a ration.
Oh, okay, cool.
Little ration.
Little ration for the little lizard dude.
Yeah, I like pets.
Alrighty.
Does he say thank you?
He might. I don't know. Let's see.
Burp. More? More? Mine?
Start spitting out the quantums of physics, and you guys are like, whoa. No, I'm just kidding.
Carla Kwame. I'm glad we figured out how to do whispers.
Right.
This is the short way.
Exactly. Alright, so you guys kind of find a spot to sort of, jump into bed without Marzena, and, sleeping downstairs or whatnot, or wherever you guys sleep. Wake up fairly early in the morning, and Razak had a bunch of food that he had kind of stocked your guys' pantry with while he was waiting for you guys to come into town.
Oh, sweet.
Alright, and it's morning time.
That was weird. You just like.
All right. Who's cooking? We really need someone to get profession cooking. We really need this in this group. I'm just saying. Oh, okay. All right. So, are we good with doing that, or Razak, did you need to get anything done before we were going to go over and visit the? I don't know, the leadership of this here area, and see if we can't get some sort of peaceful goings on between the lizard folk and these good folk.
Alrighty. So you guys want to go see Alustin? Oh, Marzena says she's like, yeah, I need to go see Alustin. I forgot you guys had her with you.
Yep. If that's the one we believe is going to be a right person to talk to.
She's like, yeah, he was definitely interested in the worms, and then after that, then maybe we can go over to Waterdeep, or you guys can. I got to get back to the keep, but maybe you guys can go to Waterdeep and deliver that accord that the lizard folk had given you for Waterdeep.
Yep. Okay.
Alrighty. So you guys head over to Alustin's house, and you guys kind of remember it as kind of a house has a table outside underneath the chair, and there's kind of a wall that sort of goes around. You guys kind of walk up there, and you see a Lustin's horse sort of grazing in the back, grabbing some just some regular grass, and you guys walk up to the door. Door's closed.
Knock, knock, knock.
So you guys knock on the door, and you kind of hear some ruffling inside, and you hear sort of a gruff voice that you guys know quite well from traveling with him over to the keep. Kind of yells out, "What do you want? It's early in the morning."
Worms don't wait. Get out here.
Yeah, the worms aren't waiting for everyone else to get up.
You hear kind of a chuckling in the room and behind the door, and he kind of opens up the doors. He goes, "Holy moly, you guys are still alive. It's amazing." And he kind of laughs and pats you on the shoulder.
We're thinking of bringing you a big egg, but they're pretty heavy, and the lizards are pretty protective of them.
He kind of gives a big smile. He's like, "So did the garrison make it out there okay? We haven't heard from him in 4 or 5 days."
I don't remember. Did the garrison make it out there?
They
I
did.
think we came back with them.
Yeah, you guys came back with him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, garrison made it out. We tracked the lizard folk back to their deal and managed to not have to destroy them or anything. And they were they had made a deal with some dragon there to help protect their young and eggs, but actually what it seemed to be doing was corrupting them or trying to corrupt them and turn them into I don't know, twisted stuff, and to kind of tell them about the symptoms of the black mouse stuff, and then undead from the worms entering the creatures and whatnot, and just generally let them know what took place and how we lost some of the eggs, but we made peace with those guys, and we need to see if we can get a peace treaty drawn out between their leadership and our citizens around this area, so that the fighting can cease.
Gotcha. So he kind of nods, and as you were kind of telling the story, he had reached around. He actually had a tea and a bunch of cups, and appropriately had a cup for Razik actually too, which maybe kind of surprised you guys a little bit. And he kind of set it down on the table and kind of listened to the story and whatnot, and kind of saw Marzena there, and kind of nodded over to her. Said to her, "Boy, oh boy," he says, "we haven't seen each other in 20 years."
I'm staring at Legendary Dreadnought, yeah.
She kind of smiles and walks over and gives him sort of a big hug, and she says, "Boy, oh boy, I didn't know you were going to retire, and I was hoping to see you come out to the keep maybe for a visit or something." And they kind of do some small talk and whatnot, and she kind of validates your story as well, telling kind of what she had seen, and talks about the spawn of cayuse that were in the basement and how they were worm-like. And so she kind of finishes up her story, and he kind of nods his head and whatnot, and he says, "Well, this nice gentleman kind of reminds me of your old adventuring buddy, Barbarian. God, what was his name again? I can't remember his name."
Court.
Oh yeah,
Core,
yeah. So this guy comes wandering into town, and I kind of seen him on the outskirts when I was out picking flowers. Kind of winks over at Marzena, and says, I saw him on the outskirts, so I went over to visit with him. Very peculiar guy. And then he brings over this cute little lizard thing that came over, and I looked at it and said, "That's not a lizard, man. That's a freaking dinosaur." It's like, I haven't seen one of those since, I was in my teens, early adventuring. Kind of looks over to you guys. He says, "Remember the story that I was telling you guys about working for Waterdeep?" And kind of goes on this ramble about his old days.
Oh, yeah. I remember that good story.
he kind of smiles. He's like, "That's the only time I've seen a dinosaur before." So he said, "I told him to kind of hole up in your guys' new home up there, by the way. And, told him that you guys would be back." So
Yeah, I can't blame you. I wouldn't want this thing to poop in ours either.
He kind of smiles. He says, "Well, he says the only other person I can think of that may be able to help is one of my my fellow wizards that I know in Waterdeep." And he kind of looks over to Marzeni and says, "Do you remember Elagos?" And she sort of looks back at him and she says, "How could anybody forget Elagos?" He kind of smiles and says, "Yep, I agree." He says, "So he says, hang on just one second." He kind of goes back into the house. You guys are out there for quite a bit of time, kind of drinking your tea and kind of taking in the autumn day because it's you're starting to notice the leaves are starting to change. Temperature's about the same. And he comes back and he's got all the artifacts you guys had brought to him from the Whispering Cairn when you guys were in there. So he's got the box, that metal box, if you guys remember, had alien writing on it, and had the talisman that was in there, and he has the vial with the worm and everything, even the glass shards from the broken glass you guys had found on the first week. And kind of hands it over to Tanner and says, "Keep that safe." He says Elagos is going to need to see all of that.
Okay.
Do we need spell components?
And then when he hands all that stuff over to you and whatnot, he says, "Can you guys kind of give me the directions to the Whispering Cairn? I want to go in there and really look at those Winduke pictures. I think that if I'm able to visualize them, I can maybe help decipher what it is about this rod of 6 parts and see, or 7 parts, and see if we can figure that out."
Are they wizard specific or not wizard? Warlock specific? Okay.
All right.
Don't have a problem with that.
Nope.
Okay, so you guys kind of give him a rough drawing that you guys had gotten from the cartographer over in the garrison over there that had given you the map over to the Whispering Cairn. And,
Yep.
And he graciously accepts it and says, "I plan on going over there probably tomorrow." Marzena says, "Well, how about I go with you and I'll take a look with you and then head back to the hold to meet with Erdis." And he kind of looks at you guys and says, "Yeah, where is that shiny paladin?"
I think he got scared.
He took over the keep. He's in charge of the keep now.
He kind of got a big grin and kind of looks at you guys and says, "I told the garrison that if they needed a commander, that's probably the guy they needed to put in there." So he kind of smiles and nods confidently.
Yeah, the sad thing about it is now you're going to have a whole fortress full of paladin wannabes.
He kind of chuckles and he says, "From the way I heard that they were drilling before, that may not be such a bad thing."
We shall see. He was a good man, though.
So he gives you guys all the stuff and it tells you that Elagos, and he kind of writes down on a piece of paper sort of the address of Elagos. He says, "I don't know, has anybody been to Waterdeep before?"
I have not.
I haven't.
Okay. He says, "Well," he says, "you guys are in for a treat, no doubt about it, if you've never been there." And he kind of looks over to Razik and says, "Razik, I know you've been through a lot of small towns," he said, "but I'm just so you know, I'm not sure the city of Waterfolk are going to be real accepting of a dinosaur coming through, so you may have some difficulties, just so you're aware."
I can make him smaller and hide him.
Okay, all right. He says, "Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that." So, so he says, "Yeah, I guess here's the stuff," and sort of stands up and kind of pats you guys all on the shoulder, and gives Tanner a little bit of refill in his flask of some special quote dwarf ale that he has unquote, and kind of smiles and says, "Is there anything else that you guys need?"
Can you you got any spells that can send us straight there?
He kind of says, "I wish I did, but use that scroll of teleport to get back here and tell the garrison to come out to help you guys," which didn't make a difference, did it? He kind of slumps down, looking down at his feet.
Well, it could have made a difference if we needed it and had to fight them off, but I think we got there at the right time. It was pretty fortunate.